Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Challenge Cup match. Now we are in the semifinals. We have
Woo!
we have DareDevinX versus Ceddy today, and I am here in the commentary booth with Tobias. Tobias, how are you doing?
Doing great. Looking forward to the very first semifinals match of this tournament. This is exciting. I don't know how we are already at semifinals.
Yeah,
This is
it seemed
ridiculous.
like just yesterday we were talking about the qualifiers and how crazy some of the settings were with this new draft system. And I feel like this has been one of my favorite Challenge Cup seasons in a while.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we are. The Challenge Cup was super fun this year. It was super quick as well. It felt like went by super fast, and I'm so happy to have reached semifinals here. And I don't just say that as an organizer. I'm super excited for these matches coming up. So we have Daredevin versus Ceddy today. They faced each other in 18 races so far, of which Daredevin wins exactly 12 and Ceddy 6. So that's 2/3 in favor of Daredevin. Daredevin also has a bunch more races under his belt, but Ceddy has a quickest time that is 12 minutes faster than Daredevin's ever posted quickest time, and it is also much more recent.
Yeah, Seti is, to my understanding, a bit of a newer runner to the scene than Daredevin is. I've been watching Daredevin since my first season, which I think was way back season 2 or 3. And it has been incredible to watch Seti in just this tournament. And his routing is incredible. His execution is really good. It's delightful. It's utterly delightful. So I'm really excited on your behalf as well that we are going to have a German in finals, regardless of who wins.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be awesome. Also, for the German speakers in the audience, if you want, there's also a German restream of this race over on twitch.tv/utzstauder. I'll post the link in chat, and we're looking forward to hearing that as well. So I think we should hop over to the race screen, and we should see that this race gets underway. We have a Serenade start, and we're starting with the Kokiri Emerald. So we're seeing at least 6 dungeons today, but we're also open all the things today. So these two are about to get started. We are looking at 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting start. I always think it's scary with a stone start because OT and all dungeons is kind of a little more threatening because it's a little bit easier to do.
Absolutely. So, Seti with a bit of a stream delay here, but I am sure both of them have started exactly at the right time. They have the settings are surely are something. So we are looking at open Deku, open Fountain, one Cucco, and free Scarecrow. Just get out of my way, seat. Let me play the video game. Is what these two runners have decided upon for today's settings.
Yeah, although as we've seen, nicer settings don't always mean a nicer seed. Seti made it here into semifinals on nice settings against Jackstronomy that wound up just being nasty.
There is no other way to put that. So indeed, we are looking at potentially already the first roadblock. I don't know, but Death Mountain Trail is foolish. That's interesting.
I
What's
think
the second
that
hint?
Death Mountain
Fire
Trail
to
is
Bongo.
actually a great foolish to get. Don't have to worry about the Storm's Grotto, don't have to worry about the bomb wall.
And we are also looking at Fire to Bongo, which means at least one thing. Fire Temple is a required dungeon today. So, let's see how this goes. both picking up heart pieces early on in this seed. Especially with a Fire Temple path hint, you already know that you are dipping into a pretty health-intensive dungeon. So might as well get that going, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice to go ahead and pick up health early whenever you know you have to go into fire. I get terrified of the people that try to do full body on just 5 hearts as a newbie myself. And in fact, here's another heart piece. So our Deku tree is going to make sure we are loaded up and ready for that Volvagia fight if we need to deal with it.
See if we have to. But yeah. This is a good start. I think we're starting. I mean, we're doing Deku blind here. This is kind of a play reminiscent of earlier seasons with where we had open Deku, and the reason for that is just we're looking at so many quick checks inside Deku Tree that even if it ends up being a stone, even if it ends up being entirely unrequired, it's still a nice thing to do just for check density.
Yeah.
Dastar, what are you trying to do?
Dastar is trying to find the command for our Challenge Cup brackets, so that we can see who our semifinalists are. And an early bomb bag, that is great.
Which is another super check dense and quick dungeon immediately available. So bomb bag required for much of the game, but also just straight up gives you to Dongo's Cavern.
Yeah, I love seeing an early bomb bag. Nothing's better than getting a bomb bag sub 5 minutes. So this will be wonderful for our runners and their routing. They're not going to have to leave a lot of like bomb checks behind in various locations. So this will be good. More checks. We love checks.
It's really helpful. So our runners were hoping. I would assume our runners were looking to get a quick seed here. We'll see how nice Mido, our rando rolling bot, was for that today.
Yeah, DareDevin before the match even said that he hasn't had nice settings in a while, so this is very refreshing for him. This also is only game 1, and this is a best of 3 tournament, so that means that regardless of who wins today, there is going to be another match, and maybe that's whenever some of the counter picks and some of the grosser sayings will come out.
We'll find out soon enough. Both of them, about to face Goma. Ceddy actually ended up substantially quicker through this dungeon for some reason.
I was actually just about to comment on that, and I think that goes to show what I was saying about how impressive some of Ceddy's routing and execution is.
That being said, Ceddy chose to forego skulls here. So that means that is just immediately a little bit of a gamble. DareDevin did get those 2 dungeon skulls, meanwhile Ceddy didn't, and that is basically the advantage that Ceddy has at the moment. They both got the 2 basement skulls, says Belnog.
Yeah.
I would never insinuate our trackers aren't paying attention, but who knows? Ceddy skipped one of them. Okay, yeah, Ceddy only got the one on the grate and not the one on the vines, which explains a little bit of a difference. Anyway, DareDevin was slightly better off fighting Goma here and has made up that difference already. Ceddy had to 2-cycle here.
Yeah, this is gonna be a great route or a great match if you want to see 2 runners with just some really close in skill level. I am excited for what the C is going to hold.
I mean, yeah, seed 76 and seed 71 as well, so really close in oh, there's another bomb bag from Mido. Thanks, game. And a wet t-shirt.
Okay.
All right. Sure.
And you can already see about that.
Yeah, we're not gonna be worried about that. You can already see that both of them have immediately stopped opening junk item chests, which they would still both do in Mido's house if they hadn't found any bombs yet, because those might hide a pack of bomb shoes. But since we have explosives now, that is no longer a concern.
Yeah, the seed really wanted to just give you bombs as quickly as possible. It's like, oh, you're not gonna do Deku immediately, even though it's open? Well, here's a bomb bag anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna have explosives this seed. Just deal with it.
It's like, take them.
Mm-hmm. You will have a bomb bag and you will like it. Anyway, both of them have their first medallion under their belt as well. Deku Tree did turn out to be the Shadow Medallion. One of the two required to get access to Light Arrow cutscene.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm gonna be interested to see where our Spirit Medallion is. Again, I was saying this before the race start.
Skull Mask is a Goron tunic.
Okay, we at least know where our shirts are. Great, but we're not gonna get that. But like I was saying, starting with a stone makes OOT a little bit scarier. It also means we have to do at least 6 dungeons today. There's no getting away with just doing 5.
Yep, and that is Claim Check is dead as well. So far the seed is being kind. Obviously we can't say anything really until we know, the locations of songs like Zelda's Lullaby and the Nocturne of Shadows, as well as things like what the Skull House provides for us in terms of hint.
The Skull House is going to be one I'm really interested to see. I wouldn't be surprised if Ceddy doesn't want to deal skulls purely because of the last seed that he had to run. Because skull routing is hard. Skull routing is a lot. But if it's only 10 or 20 skulls, you're gonna run into them along the way, most likely. And was that DC foolish?
DC Foolish is a great hint. So that means even if we know that DC is foolish, as soon as we find bomb shoes, now they have incentive to dig for bomb shoes again, because that means they can just straight up skip most of the dungeon by just using bomb shoes to blow open the Dongo's eyes, if it ends up being required to set foot in there at all.
Yeah,
and we also don't need to buy a friggin' shield.
Hashtag never buy a shield.
The fools have it today.
We'll see who's foolish whenever something important is in Valley and or Wasteland today.
Press X to doubt. Anyway, I'm gonna get a quick prediction going here. Who is going to be the first to 3 medallions?
I think I already have a prediction going, which was who will take Game 1 of Semifinals, and it is a 60-40 split, with 60% of people thinking DareDevin is gonna take it.
All right. So you completely you were obviously quicker there than I was, but we'll see. So you're going for the big one, straight to who is taking Game 1. The 60-40 split, roughly equivalent to our runners' race time records here. So we will see how true that holds. First of all, though, we are going to see the song in Sacred Forest Meadow. That'll be Prelude. Easy routing to Temple of Time today.
Yeah, it sucks not to have a song that unlocks checks, but having 2 really great routing songs is awesome.
That's true. So Sauria's song had Prelude. The Lap Dive had a Prescription, which we know is worthless. And Zora's River is our third foolish area. Which sucks. That's 3 hints that we're most likely not going to get, and 30 skulls is magic. Okay, 30 skulls will most
Oh.
likely be gotten.
Yeah, there is a chance of the second magic being readily available somewhere, but at least knowing that information, you can start collecting skulls. Because again, you're most likely going to do 10 and 20 at some point anyway. So you might as well just grab that extra 10 skulls.
Yeah, so, really generous with information this seed is. Zora's, we have all 3 of our foolish hints as well already. We know fire is path to Bongo, which is honestly not bad information. Gives you quite a bit of input about things like song layout. You know that you need to dip into Fire Temple, which you normally want to avoid if you can. And you also know there's a path item there, so you can't leave just as soon as you find the boss key. Here's our first look at Temple of Time hints. 30 is still a magic meter. Frogs 2 is dead. Thanks game. Graveyard to Baronade, and GTG to Twin Rova.
Interesting. So now we also kind of want to know where our Pona's song is and know whether or not we're long shot locked from getting out to GTG.
Yeah, knowing that would be great. So Daredevin is already working on that, getting more songs as we speak, with a slight detour to the Boulder of Destiny. Meanwhile, Sadie is collecting skulls. Immediately shifted to OoT Storms. Oh, okay.
Oh. Hey,
Here's Schrodinger's All Dungeons.
Uh, yeah, I think Schrodinger's All Dungeons is my new favorite term. For anyone who wasn't here whenever this was coined, it is whenever it's all dungeons until you know it isn't all dungeons. And Storms being on OOT is one of those things where you might want to be afraid of that.
Yeah, because it is Storms. Song of Storms locks several grottos. It also, more importantly, locks an entire dungeon, side dungeon, by Bottom of the Well. And Bottom of the Well is one of those dungeons that really has a lot of checks.
Yeah, and like I said, we only have to do 2 more, whatever our 2 stone dungeons are, for us to even get that, which means it's going to be earlier in logic than a lot of other seeds.
But that really depends on what those 2 stone dungeons are as well.
True, we could have a Shadow or Spirit Stone. Well, no, I guess it's not going to be Spirit Stone because we had a Path to Twin Rova, but it could still be a.
Yeah.
Wait.
There is Bomb Juice, so if Dodongo's Cavern is indeed a required dungeon, it'll be a super quick one for them.
Actually, with our path hints so far, Bongo, Baronade, and Twin Rova, whatever our stone dungeons are not going to be that gross. I think kind of water's the worst that we could run into at this point.
I would say Forest is the worst. That's just a 15-minute guaranteed slot. Water you can skip as soon as you find the boss key.
That's fair. And I guess we do have Serenade today, so it'll be easier to get to. Additionally, that is ZL on Malin, so great job grabbing that.
Yeah, and we get another free song. I would assume Devin will walk over to Kakariko next, but he will probably, or he will... what did he do? Probably play Prelude?
Yeah, so time of day to get into Temple of Time is not something our runners have to worry about today. I mean, you know me, and I'm not just saying this because of my bias, but I would just, from Lon Lon, just go Route and Valley now while you have the chance. You're getting some decent starting items, but of course, DareDevin's not going to do that.
Yeah, Daredevin wants to play into this being a quick seed, so is warping to Temple of Time, but he's walking out again. Where are we headed?
Probably
I
gonna
don't
get
think
the
you can make it to...
the skull into time of day to do night market checks.
Ah, the poison meant for Cusco. Cusco's poison. Anyway. Yeah, so Skull in Hyrule Castle is a thing that is true.
Also, with ZL, he can go get the fairy.
Oh, yeah. And we know that market isn't foolish, so doing market checks as well. Or at least market isn't hinted foolish. Getting an early start on fairy checks is also always a good thing.
Sky, they're not going to be able to check the altar for medallions until they go adult. So we've got a tiny bit until then.
Hey, nice arrows.
Oh?
Ooh, Devin is walking out.
What?
I do not...
Oh, he hasn't gotten this skull yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, both our runners seeing that OOT is Storms has definitely, or seeing that magic meter is on 30. Gosh. Oh, I'm already confused, and we are literally 17 minutes in. Anyway, 30 skulls, magic meter. Gonna be a little bit worried about that. And DareDevin is choosing to get money this way and do time of day routing this way rather than going to the Hyrule Castle Ferry.
Ooh, this might be good time of day routing for Dampe standard time. It does look earlier in the evening than I anticipated. So this will be good. Yeah, this will get him to Kakariko right in time for Dampe to be out.
Wow, yeah, this is some incredible time of day routing from DareDevin.
So let's get him 5 more skulls. Or, well, 4 more skulls at least. 5 if he does the Deku stick trick. And we'll see how what else he gets here. He will. Yep, doing adult routing here, aren't we, Mr. DareDevin? Oh, the 2-pack was a 20-pack. I hadn't even clocked that. That's great. Okay, no worries about that skull then, or about having to worry about.
I believe. Oh, that is a scale on Bombchu Bowling for SETI, which means we have our logic for getting into Zora's domain now.
And it gets him a bit of a routing advantage here, because obviously the shortcut from river to domain is quite helpful. Sorry, from river to Lost Woods, and also from domain to Lake Hylia. Said he got lucky here, and he is night resting it to nighttime. Gerudo Training Ground to Twin Rover. We already saw that. That's our second copy of that hint.
I'm going to be surprised, though, if DareDevin doesn't get that before going adult. Well, what I am assuming DareDevin's routing is going to get the skulls here, do Night Graveyard, and then from there, go back to market, do night market checks, ideally go get the Hyrule Castle Ferry, and then go adult.
Likely, yeah, that's true.
This is just a clear out your child one as much as humanly possible route.
He is leaving behind the chickens, Anju's chicken specifically, the one chicken that you need to collect today, and Ceddy is headed out of castle now.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice from our runners to have that as one of their settings and then not utilize it.
But immediately, at least. DareDevin peeking castle graveyard crate. There's also another song to be had, and having that as soon as possible is obviously important. That's just collecting more and more information.
God, wouldn't it be awful if the item in Graveyard wasn't the Sun's Grave? Because this wouldn't be the first time I've seen a boomerang on Sun's Grave.
The peak in Graveyard was just a peak for the grave, for the heart piece on the crate, in the crate in Graveyard. You can get to that crate using either beans or the long shot. And it was a heart piece. So vanilla.
So we have our first really big divergence. Seti is choosing to go ahead and go adult. Not going to loop in these night checks, not going to do graveyard as child. Just wants to go
And
adult
there's
and see
Nocturne.
what our temples are, which is Shadow, Spirit, Jabu, Deku, and DC.
And it was Fire Temple on the Light Medallion. So, ooh, doesn't like Devin? No, Devin is absolutely going for that for the torches check here. Would be foolish not to. And looks like he has a good setup. There we go. Yep, that works.
One thing that's interesting with that medallion layout is Dodongo's Cavern is our spirit medallion, which means Lax is really early and really fast.
And really accessible. You're right. So Sadie obviously doesn't worry about nighttime CAC checks now because he will be able to do daytime CAC as soon as he finishes Dodongo's Cavern. And he will be able to finish that again really quickly thanks to Bomb Juice. Devin is being really thorough here, is warping back to Temple of Time and is now doing night market checks, which will net him the scale as well.
We also get to see if Richard's owner is going to properly compensate us for getting her dog back.
Well, she's giving us 20 rupees, so it's not going too bad, but also kind of stingy still. Also, we can still steal her savings, so it's another 5 rupees from that. Reed at Grotto has the hammer. It's one of those, you get all explosives and explosive alikes really early seeds.
There is no rock that is going to stand in our way today.
Don't say that before we have strength 3.
There is one rock that could stand in our way today.
All right. But yeah, so Fire Temple is indeed a thing today, and we know it's bad. We can't just leave after the boss key, which is unfortunate.
I need to relearn that setup for Bomb Tree Bowling because that was clean on DareDevin's side.
That was really neat. All right, and with that scale, I think Devin is going to be calling it quits in terms of being done with Child 1, and will head adult likewise. Seti is going to get that hint, and then is going to immediately blow open the Dodongo's eyes. Kakariko, Burning Cack is Minuet, okay. So that Burning Cack locks Shadow, is locked by Shadow, Spirit, and Jabu today.
So the 3 dungeons that we have our items hinted for, or our pass hinted for.
Yeah, Minuet isn't really early today. Well, I guess we're Mido skipping.
Yeah.
Until we find Saria.
Not something that is necessarily hard required. It could tell us something interesting about the logic and whether or not we are expected to get that storms today. And how early we're expected to have it.
Right. Devin is following in Seti's footsteps a little bit, but is now at 10 skulls, whereas Seti is still at 3. So, not going to call it a big advantage in Seti's favor at the moment.
Yeah, it's seeming like Seti is choosing to rush after progression, which makes a lot of sense, rather than worrying about the potential of, 30 skulls magic. Devin, however, is trying to be a little more thorough, make sure that he doesn't skip over anything that could bite him later. And also, speaking of knowing something about forest logic, that's Saria's an ice cavern.
Locked by Ruto's letter, that's interesting. So, yeah, you're not setting foot in Stone Forest unless it is to grab a few skulls until you have a good beat on where Ruto's letter is. Daredevin has now just turned it to daytime, so is going to give us daytime CAC before even heading into Dodongo's Cavern. Obviously, he can't know that Dodongo's Cavern is foolish. Or even if he... sorry, he knows that Dodongo's Cavern is foolish, so he can't be sure that he can just... Or he's going to have to do it anyway for a medallion. So wants that insurance to be able to do the Kakariko daytime checks.
Yeah, Daredevin is going to be chasing after Settings routing here in a second, so that means that he's very likely going to get that hammer, go into Dodongo's. I'm going to be interested to see where they diverge again, and if something is on 10 skulls, because that's a check Daredevin's going to be able to get that Ceddy isn't. Also, I already appreciate that it's always my restreams that have the completely unhinged chats. I adore you all. Thank you.
I mean, claim check is dead.
Okay, that's good to know.
We knew that one already.
Yep, and we know where it is, so we just don't have to worry about it. Don't have to do lab dive. So it seems like Ceddy had some problems with the bomb choose setup and has elected to just go through DC the long way. That is going to make up Daredevin some time because I am like 95% sure Daredevin knows the bomb choose setup to open up the back of DC.
Oh, by heart. I see no trouble with this from his side. So we'll see. I mean, at least he gets a skull that way. So, not all hope is lost, but that is still a bit of a time loss for Daredevil, for Ceddy here. Ooh. And Dampe has something for us. Dampe has two somethings. Bow and a slingshot. All the ranged weapons here in Dampe's race today.
Graveyard being path to Baronade.
I mean, there is a bowlock check in Water Temple, so... sorry, in Water Temple. Oh!
Question.
You're thinking Vanilla Boomerang.
I am, because you need that slingshot to get into Jabu once you're in the mouth, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or bomb shoes, but that's not in logic. I don't think bombs are either.
Either way, both of those are very strange path items and could because there's also target in the wood that slingshot could be for.
And there's Windmill with a Song of Time.
And Nocturne
bombs and
was also in Graveyard.
Yeah. So bombs and bomb shoes can trigger the switch in Jabu's mouth, but the question is, are they in logic for it? Or is that a trick that's not enabled? I'm not sure.
I think it's considered a trick. I think you have to have Boomerang or Slingshot. Usually don't feel that authoritative, but I feel pretty authoritative about this.
I am looking at the source code as we speak. 1 second. Data, world, Jabu.
Thank God I'm commentating with someone who knows how to look at the source code.
Can use projectile. So yes, it's a slingshot or a boomerang in this case. It's not. Bombs aren't in logic. All right, first look at Skullhouse as well. By the way, chat was irritated earlier that funny game.
Remember what we said about we're just gonna get all the explosives?
And 50 is dead, and 40 is likewise dead. It's the Kokiri sword. So, yeah, we are getting all the explosives early, and 10 skulls is no exception on that. We get our third bomb back there. 20 skulls, the rare sometimes hint, is also dead. So 10 skulls is all you need, and that's in the CAC Open Grotto, so Daredevin is done collecting skulls.
Unless we need 30 for that magic.
Oh yeah, there's that.
The
You're not done
30
collecting
for
skulls.
magic cannot be understated today, folks.
No, there are 2 magics in this game. Shadow Temple is a required dungeon. You're not done collecting skulls until you have the second magic in your hands. And traditionally, second magic is in Shadow Temple.
Yep, that is the good old randomizer special.
All right. So let's see. So Chat was irritated earlier. Did Seti just rush straight to DC? Yes, because it was nighttime for him, and beating the Dongos Cavern turned it back to daytime. So that's fine. Oh, can use projectile, has explosives, or is adult in bow or hookshot, or is child in slingshot or boomerang. Okay, well, I guess explosives are in logic for
All right,
for
then
Yabu
that
then.
means
Thanks,
that... Thank you, Fennel. So that means that our path and graveyard right now is going to be either that bow or that nocturne. Now, I am suspicious of both of them. I kind of want to find where the fuck our sun song is so I can check that check as well. Because until I see that, I'm not going to feel fully comfortable that graveyard is good as far as that path.
Yeah. So I would rather yeah, bow or nocturne is correct. Neither the slingshot nor the bombs can be path in this case. That being said, well, not for that anyway. They can be for example, target in the woods. But yeah, Sunsung Grave is a thing that exists. Also, we are looking at Nocturne as a path item could just mean Rudolph's Letter is chilling in shadow. And people are debating me on whether the slingshot can be pathed here in our tracking sheet.
Slingshot can't be path because since it can use projectile, we have readily accessible bombs in multiple places.
Ma'am, have you heard the good news about slingshot minigame? Target in the woods.
Right. Sorry, I forgot that we were talking about other things. I'll stop removing that.
I was also I literally said it on stream right before you removed that again, so
my ears and my brain can only focus on one thing at once, and sometimes that's typing over comms. I'm listening now. I'm listening now. I will be a good student. I fully admit you were right here. Tobias is right.
Well, now I won't say anything. Anyway, yeah, Lax exists. And Slingshot can also be a path for Child Spirit. We have all the bombs. We have 17 bomb chews. Daredevin is continuing to collect skulls here, which makes total sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to go into DC and do this loop just to get these skulls.
Well, no, it's not a loop. It's really just the one skull at the back here, I think. Daredevin won't do anything else.
Oh, that's fair. It is really, really nice having the biggest bomb bag today so that we just don't have to worry about explosives in multiple ways. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're not... I mean, just look at those C buttons. We will never have to worry about explosives again. Ceddy going to be disappointed in shooting gallery. I think Devin already checked that and noticed it was nothing.
Serious business. I am going to reaffirm what Tobias said, which is that there are other slingshot locked checks, notably like target in the woods, for instance. So it could be path. We'll
see. Deku still requires Slingshot to be beat. We also have, again, a Slingshot could lock Rudo's letter somewhere. And Ceddy, here's the good news about skulls. Okay, 30 skulls maximum. And that is them just about dead even. Except Devin already has 12 skulls. Any place that is locked by Slingshot currently can potentially be passed. Devin picks up some bomb shoes from King Dodongo here. And that is Spirit Medallion for Devin. Let's see what else we get. Both Devin and Ceddy now headed up the mountain. Again, early plays here. I am very unsurprised to not see any divergence at this stage. Both of them are just, covering their bases, getting the early sphere checks out of the way, stopping Link the Goron, rooting around Adult Goron City for what that has to offer us.
Yeah, I think doing Goron City is a great choice. Goron City is one of those areas that I think is terrible to route, so you might as well just do it when you're able to do it. Now is as good a time as any. And as far as bomb chew logics, it's basically what Fennel said. So any explosives in the seed are going to require you to have a bomb bag in some way.
Right. It's about to show us Goron City Maze. Not even bothering to peek it. We have access anyway. Oh, big chest. Let's see what that is. And we're getting another slingshot. That's hammer locked, but that other slingshot wasn't. Slingshot is not a path item. Zora's Domain to Bongo. Zora's Domain to Bongo? Okay. I guess we're going upriver anyway.
Yeah, it was mentioned this in chat, which is that we are pretty much not going to get a Goma path unless I guess it's to that Kokiri sword. And we're also not getting a DC path because all of our bombs were readily accessible. So we were going to have some dungeon double hinted. Oh, but I guess the Kokiri sword wouldn't be hinted because it's on 40, so it's already hinted.
And also, again, it won't be path this seed because open Deku.
Yes, chat, just tell me if it's still too quiet. I just don't want to bump it up a ton at once.
A bit more. And going to Crater while not having a means to get through to... What, that central pillar is a blue rupee. Okay. By the way, I missed the Medigoron hint, so if anybody can enlighten me as to what that was,
Looks...
OoT dupe and trail is still hinted dead thanks in Death Mountain Crater Wall.
Central Pillar is dead today, according to Death Mountain Crater.
Yep. Cool. So Devin, I already said it does feel bad to go through Crater without having a means to get your song there as well, especially if you also know that you need to be back here later anyway to start in on Fire Temple. So Devin is electing not to do that. Devin is trying to, get an out of logic song here and see where that gets him, because that is likely to be a warp song at this point, or liable to be a warp song anyway. It's a 50% chance, and this is Bolero. Well, that
You were
just gets him all
saying?
kinds of out of logic stuff. Amazing.
Yeah, I think that's a great find from Daredevin. We know that there's a chance that's deep in the seed, depending on where Rooter's letter is, but being able to get whatever song here is gonna be good.
Yeah, so both Bolero and the horse are out of logic at this point, but Devin doesn't particularly care. A hookshot will be in his near future, but this gets him a chance to start in on another progression dungeon, and he has a hammer. He has bombs. He can probably beat Volvagia here.
Additionally, with getting that Eponas, he's also going to be able to, again, out of logic, but we know GTG is going to be our path to Twinrova. We're still missing some stuff to make it a good call, but we could do a couple of checks.
I mean, you can do hookless GTG. He has a bow.
True.
Having a strength. Oh, there's a key under the doormat here as well, so he can just straight up beat Volvagia and get his third medallion dungeon done. So that was a great routing choice by Devin here. Going out of logic really pushed him forward in this seed. And it is going to be a 5-heart Volvagia with no bottles, but he does have plenty of bomb juice, so fingers crossed, folks.
I mean, I think if anyone could do it, it's Daredevin, and you might as well just try it once. You're here.
Yep. And if you are proficient with a bomb juice setup, 40 seconds is plenty of time. With bombs, without a bottle, that's almost impossible to do on time. So I am happy to see 5-heart Volvagia. No net, no fake floors for Daredevin here, and he's using bombs. GTG final chest is dead. Ooh, this could get tricky. That's 4, 5. Ooh, this is gonna be so close. Oh my god, he almost got troll hold there.
Yeah. Oh, he
got
did
it.
it!
What a freaking gamer.
That was incredible.
Clean ass. That was amazing. All right. Daredevin letting it be known that he is in semifinals for a reason here. Ooh. I said he might just have cost himself some time there. I don't think he can do a diving minigame with that layout at the moment. It's a 5 diver for him because he didn't quite get the second rupee. Oh, and there's Stin's Fire as well. That is your path item to Bongo, guaranteed.
That is like the best possible routing.
This is amazing. So Devin just now knows what his path item to Bongo in Fire Temple likely is. He knows he can always go fish for another path item if it turns out Din's wasn't the only thing in here later on. But this is Fire Temple cleared out as far as he's concerned. This is amazing.
And the thing is, with that domain to Bongo, there's a good chance there's nothing else in Fire. That the next big thing he needs is going to be there, unless for some reason, like, hovers are deeper in Fire.
Mm-hmm. And there's a 6th heart for Devin. First look at Light Arrow cutscene, I think. And, oh, there's hover boots. That's definitely domain to Bongo.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the hover boots! And, hold on. Devin has everything but a hookshot to be able to just complete Shadow Temple as well.
Yeah.
Well, and Nocturne. No, he has Nocturne.
He has Nocturne
Shoot.
because it was in Graveyard. And that's what's interesting, is our Graveyard to Baronade path gave us the bow, but it also gave us Nocturne, which means that the thing to Jabu could just be staying inside a Shadow Temple.
For sure. All we need to be able to complete Shadow Temple here is a hookshot, and that'll give us enough items for sure to also poke around in GTG for that Twin Rover path. There are plenty of skulls in Logic. 30 are in Logic for sure. With bombs and a slingshot, that's more than enough.
Yeah, both of our runners have gone back child. DareDevin's going to probably follow Ceddy into Domain based on where he's at. Now, it is scary at this point, because as played out by Monchi in chat, we haven't seen a single strength. We also don't know where our hook shots are, and we're gonna need one for Shadow, right? Do we need a hook? We do need a hook shot for Shadow.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's an irrelevant item with Open Fountain. Oh, shoot, yeah.
Oh god, I forgot we had Open
I
Fountain.
keep forgetting that. We have Open Fountain, and that also means that Ice Cavern and thus Saria's song is not far out of Logic. All you need is a bottle.
We are a bottle from being in Logic on DareDevin's side.
Yeah, no, that's start. Do you think we trust chat in any meaningful way?
It has
including you?
I don't think I've ever commentated an Open Fountain seed, which I think is part of what's getting me so mixed up, is that I'm just not used to it and not used to thinking like that. I mean, based on the way I keep, you know, coming up with the same conclusions you reach like 5 minutes before me. Like, I'm having a hard time thinking about anything today. And we officially have our third commentator on chat. Everyone say hello to Bedelia. She has claimed my lap, so she can be closer to the microphone.
And Dastar has put himself in the containment zone where he belongs. Alright. DareDevin also not getting a really favorable rupee dive layout here, but should be able to do that.
You know, Oh, apparently Tobias put himself in containment zone. Welcome back, Tobias.
Put in containment zone because Dastar is a menace and must be stopped.
Dastar has to, hey, Dastar abusing mod powers. God, and now I forgot what I was gonna say. Thanks, Dastar. I was gonna say something really smart and really intelligent.
And insightful, too.
Yeah, that just proves I know what this game is about. We're playing Monopoly, right?
That's what I heard. Alright, back to topic. Devin is about to get his hover boots and then will be kind of directionless, I would say. He knows that his horse is a bit out of logic. On the other hand, with 4 bottles in the game, including Rudo's Letter, one is bound to turn up. So, Open Fountain is certainly worth a look around here. And also, do you care that Saria song is technically still logic? I don't think you do. I think you just assume one bottle at least will turn up, and you can get your you can just assume that you're in logic at this point.
Yeah, chances of like all the logics being locked in like Spirit are hilariously low and not going to happen. So we've got something somewhere. Additionally,
Oh,
we
also
do
his horse is in logic now. Hovers are completely logical.
yeah, and I forgot that we
Thanks, hamster.
got those.
There wasn't a bottle hint somewhere, I think. Yeah, Ceddy is showing us some more of Fire Temple that we haven't seen yet. It's the boss key loop. In theory, Daredevin's path in Fire Temple is completely fulfilled by that Din's fire on Volvagia. So Daredevin will not be back to the Fire Temple for a good little bit here. Is he going to show us Back of Lake hints?
I hope so. Also, this is unfortunate routing on Seti's side. It makes sense. This is what I would do, but choosing to do the hammer loop is unfortunately not the call today. Does get another skull. Oh, I remember what I was going to say earlier whenever Death Star was messing with you. I was going to say that Devin is not directionless per se. If he goes and rushes those 30 skulls, he's gonna be able to just go into Shadow Temple.
Yeah.
Can't
Up until he's locked out by hookshot not being a thing yet.
Yeah, but it might be worth at least going in the door and checking the first, like, 2 checks or something.
Yeah, that's possible. Other than that, we also have Spirit Temple still out of logic by a lens.
And 2 strengths.
Well, Adult Spirit Temple, yes, but Requiem is 50% to be on to be a vanilla Requiem.
True.
And 50% to be locked behind Shadow Temple. So it's a bit of a gamble. And confirming that the Slingshot indeed is not path. But while you're here, you might do this. Daredevin is now headed into Goron City as child, with all he has being, well, he can do Hot Rudder and he can do the pot, but Darunia is not going to get checked for a while here.
It is nice to check Hot Rodder. Hot Rodder does historically have hooks. Except that's not a hook unless you tied a rope to it.
Pointy sticks. Sometimes Hot Rodder also has pointy sticks.
You could just tie a rope to that, you know, throw it, start climbing. Imagine if Ocarina of Time had, like, item combination mechanics like in Breath of the Wild.
Oh boy. Also, isn't that Tears?
And Tears. Yeah. Tears. I get them mixed up.
Devin opting to not do the bomb throw here and instead do bomb shoe strats. This man is sure of being able to nail this strat.
Additionally, we've got Ceddy on the Volvagia fight and seems to be going pretty good. Had an extra heart over Daredevin, and having that extra time gave him the time to finish off Volvagia.
Alright. Daredevin has 7 hearts and does not bother with double defense at this point, which is a flex itself.
Yeah, we love to see a healthy seed, unless you have to deal with Dark Link, but even then it's fine.
But yeah, I mean, if you're standing next to the thing, why aren't you picking up double defense? Devin, I will laugh at you if you get killed by Salt and Pepper later.
It might be possible, though. There is a valid reason to not want to pick that up, which is if you want to Death Warp at some point, double defense does make that near impossible.
That's true. Death warping in Valley is a thing that exists.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, time for Devin to go back adult. And I am kind of wagering that he's up for a GTG trip next. Hookshot or not, you can do most of GTG at this point. With Song of Time in hand as well.
At this point, looking at our note sheet, we are missing 3 sometimes hints and 1 more path hint, which is gonna be a double hint to something. Probably to either Twin Rova or Bongo. Unless none of our strengths lock each other, and none of our hook shots lock each other.
If it's a hint to Bongo, that would just be great. But a hint to Twin Rova would be equally welcome, just because you are at this point really fishing for strengths and a hook shot. And hint to Twin Rova can be either of those things, besides the Mirror Shield.
Yeah, it's really interesting the way that our hints are playing out, because what happens to a path hint if there's nothing that you can hint because none of the items are locking each other?
True, and I think Devin just realized that he forgot Crater Fairy. Yes, he did.
Hamster pointing out that the path is empty and you'll get a dupe of another one. Thank you. So we want to be on the lookout to see if we get a duplicated hint, because that's going to tell us a lot about how linear or not this seed is as far as getting those strengths and getting those hook shots.
Hey.
Yes.
Devin is completing his exploration of Death Mountain Crater. Will be able to get the ferry at the top of Death Mountain Trail as well. Unless, of course, he doesn't, because that's, oh wait, foolish. And Ceddy is the first to be headed to GTG, actually.
I like this play. Sadi, again, I said this earlier, but Sadi's playing very aggressive with chasing these paths and chasing this progression. And in a seed like this, where you have so much open, where it's getting in... hello? That was a strength.
On Tektite?
On Tektite.
That's kind of rude. Alright.
Irons are
lock or scale.
required.
Or scale.
Or scale. Okay, so we're just gonna file that away. We know where one of our 2 strengths are today. We need to find a second one.
Yeah, and I mean a scale or iron boots will turn up, right? Right.
Right?
Devin just reflexively jumped off of the cavern here. I don't think that's what he intended. Anyway,
I think DareDevin was going to check whatever was on top of Dodongo's, forgetting that DMT is foolish.
Gee whiz, game. Back to Volvagia. Thanks so much. That is going to be our hammer, won't it be? So that is all of our path hints, as well as a hookshot in Remote Grotto.
And that means as soon as you rush those 30 skulls, Ceddy can just go do shadow.
What is Devin doing? Is he rushing skulls right now? I feel like he's rushing skulls.
This feels like a skull play coming back into DC.
I think Ceddy at the moment has an advantage here because he has besides just knowing where a hookshot is, and having
a strength.
a bit of a better logical understanding of the seed. I don't really agree with rushing 30 like that. Just I think the Hyrule Field play was the smart move here. And also, Lone Scrub Grotto has the light arrows. Okay, we're not hunting light arrows. Hi.
So apparently Hyrule Field is the answer to this seed. Just go to Hyrule Field and get everything you need to open up a lot of the rest of the seed.
Yeah, so Hyrule Field has a strength, a hookshot, as well as a last path hint, and the light arrows. Thanks. Cool. Meanwhile, DareDevin is pushing the Armos for that one more skull. I mean, if you commit to skulls like that, you commit to skulls, but that's just a time investment. It's less of a time investment than it used to be, because fast Armos push, thank you so much, devs. And I genuinely mean that. But it is still a time investment. Meanwhile, Ceddy is now headed over to Gerudo area.
Yeah, and it's incredible to get that hook before going to GTG. This is wonderful for Ceddy. And let's just hope that whenever DareDevin is chasing down these skulls, if he chooses to route in GTG for part of the skull routing, that he will also clear out the field like Ceddy did.
More bomb shoes in Gerudo Valley. There's a big chest behind the hammer rocks. Is that gonna be our second strength? No, but it's a wallet. All right.
Okay. Valley didn't have nothing.
And you still have the waterfall. Ooh, Ceddy is trying to gauge if he still has time of day to. Ooh. He's gonna be waiting there for a while. He could probably peek the waterfall in the time it takes him to get those two skulls.
Yeah, I know why he's doing this. It's on your way. You might as well. But if you're committing to rushing your paths, just go rush your paths and come back for these. There is still a chance that we run into a magic along the way.
We'll see. Devin is now back in Crater. Is he... He's getting early Fire Temple skulls. That is a play for sure. While we are watching riveting content here, going back into Fire Temple, which we've already seen the boss key loop, and Ceddy going for skulls. Thank you to everyone who's making this restream possible. Thank you to our runners, DareDevin and Ceddy, putting on the show for us today. Thank you to Sadie for restreaming and commenting with me, and thank you to our trackers Miss Dagger and Skygoro for making sure we're well informed about what the hell is going on in this seed.
And today is Miss Dagger's first time tracking. I love our first time volunteers, so thank you so much, Miss Dagger, for joining our community and being here today.
Welcome aboard.
So how many skulls is DareDevin at? I guess we're going to find out here in a second.
24.
Okay.
Really, really rushing those skulls.
Yeah, I'm wondering where he's planning on getting those last 6 from.
He has already done Child Cac. Yeah, so...
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to kind of stay in this Kakariko area to nab these, which makes sense, but I'm trying to figure out where skulls might be that would allow him to just really quickly grab them and like pop back into the skull house.
Early Forest has 3 more. But that is hookshot locked, so that's not in play for him right now. Yeah, good question. would say Ceddy at the moment, just because of his choice to head across the field and then head to the Gerudo area, is gaining a lead on Devin for the moment. We'll see how that plays out in the long run, obviously, because if 30 skulls are required, Devin is well on his way. Is going for kind of out-of-the-way skulls here as well.
Yeah.
And seems to have made up his mind that he assumes that the magic on 30 skulls is A, the only accessible one, and B, Shadow Temple is going to be his next play.
Yeah, and on one hand, that makes sense. On the other hand, that is a little worrisome with not having a hook. Because Devin is going to get locked down, not going to be able to finish it, and we don't have a Furores yet.
Yeah, he will be stuck at basically the halfway point of Shadow Temple if he actually commits to hookless Shadow here. Unless he gets majorly bailed out by the other hook being in Shadow Temple. And Ceddy isn't that far behind in terms of skulls either. He's 17 now.
Yeah, I commented on this. I think in the very first race I watched Ceddy run, Ceddy had to collect like 40 or 50 skulls, and his skull routing's actually very good. And that might be part of why he put them off for so long, is a bit of a confidence in being able to route in 30 skulls quickly. Which is letting him get a little more checks because he's able to be like, okay, I'm going to go out to GTG and route in a couple of skulls while I'm out here, and then I can go do these other things and route in a couple more skulls. I don't immediately need that magic.
Yeah. With ETG being a path location, riding across field here, getting those checks, and then heading over to GTG made a lot of sense in my mind, and I think I would have played this similarly to Ceddy. And Ceddy got rewarded handsomely for it, so we'll see how that plays out for DareDevin in the long run. There's plenty of choices, bad and good, still to make in the sea, to be clear. There is nothing decided yet, but at the moment I feel like Ceddy has a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, we also still have the threat of all dungeons for that Song of Storms. If, for instance, our second strength is just sitting down there somewhere.
Oof. Let's not talk about that. Devin is indeed climbing Fire Temple. That's a play.
What does... how many more skulls...
Strength!
Oh.
Right side maze, Song of Time locked, strength. Actually, not Song of Time locked. There are no keys on right side maze. And it looks like the maze is entirely dead.
Well, there's a possibility that that is our path to GTG, in which case we would have a bit of a mirror hunt.
Yeah. That can very much be your path to Twin Rova here. Unless, of course, that big chest over there is the mirror shield.
Yeah, I guess we'll see in a second. If you're a fan of DareDevin, you don't want that to be Mirror Shield. You want this to be a bit of a hunt, because especially with how thorough DareDevin has been, Ceddy's might have to backtrack over some of DareDevin's path before finding it.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Dastar, we don't have irons. I'm not sure we're gonna go get the toilet. Right, there's the mirror.
Oh boy. Oh boy. This isn't looking too good for Devin here. So the strength can still also be path in GTG at this point.
Yeah, we'll definitely need it. And this means that Ceddy is essentially irons to get that second strength, and needs to find where the hell that boomerang is, which it could still be sitting in the graveyard. We don't have Sun Songs. We haven't been able to check that. But it could also be somewhere, like, inside a bongo, if that Nocturne was path, or somewhere bow-locked? Like, Stone Forest?
Devin, meanwhile, is doing some really difficult tricks to get that skull. I think you can only get that with a ground jump. I'm not sure. No, there we go. Backflip. Backflip's enough. Oof. So Ceddy now has 1 strength, knows about a second, has the mirror shield, basically has the kit for Spirit Temple close to in his grasp. All he needs is actually like irons or a second scale to get to it. Meanwhile, Devin is now probably also headed across Hyrule Field and will make up some of that time.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say, looking at Devin's skull count, I think that Devin's going to get this one here, and is going to be able to get his other 3 skulls on his way out to GTG.
He already got that one here, and it looks like he just set it to nighttime for some skull hunting as child. This man is committed to 30 skulls at this point.
I get it. I understand, but whenever you have a horse and you know where a path location is, it feels like you go check it.
Yeah. Anyway, Devin is now headed to Kokiri Forest. Or presumably more skull hunting. It is nighttime in Kokiri Forest, so there are 2 more skulls up for grabs here, I think. Oh no, he already got them. Where is this plan? What is his plan for this last few skulls?
Yeah, I'm not.
What's on his mind here?
Yeah, I'm
Is he making the same logical... Sorry. Is he making the same logical misassumption that I was in terms of Rudo's letter?
River
being
skulls.
required to put... Yeah. River Skull. He doesn't have a boomerang.
Oh, right.
Skull Grotto is another one outside of Kakariko. Boomerang Chest is dead is actually good info.
And Ceddy is reversing. Unfortunately, not going to be able to show me the Wasteland check. No magic yet, but... Or going in straight, sorry. I forgot which direction Ceddy came from.
He's also thus currently out of logic, not that he particularly cares.
And Ceddy just needs 12 more skulls, so DareDevin is significantly ahead, just 2 skulls away.
Lap Dive being prescription would be very high baseball if Big Goron weren't hinted dead. And Devin is 2 skulls away, yeah, so... Where is he going for his last 2? I mean, he's committed to skulls at this point.
Is he doing field check on foot?
Is this man forgetting he has a horse?
Oh god, is this man forgetting he has a horse? Oh, he's child.
I mean, yes, he's child, but if you're thinking about having a horse and if you're thinking about going to GTG anyway, you probably just do these checks as adult. Anyway, he's gonna be pretty happy that he did this. Getting a hookshot and all that, and getting his final path hint as well.
Yeah, and maybe this hook is going to make him think a little bit more about GTG. He's lucky that this routing led him to this, but it is going to be unfortunate for some of those other things in Hyrule Field.
Yeah, and now he is immediately, with that hookshot in hand, warping to Temple of Time. I would assume we'll do the last two. We'll do the last two skull checks. Thanks to the hookshot in Kakariko and in front of it, so in the Skull Grotto. And should then be at 30. And will probably be will probably then also be headed towards the Gerudo area. I did not see what was on the arch. I don't think Ceddy checked yet, to be honest. And 20 is still a huge rupee, so nothing.
I would say,
Ooh.
chat, that if... Oh, what was that?
Sun Song. Requiem is on behind Shadow Temple completion.
I think that leans towards... I would go back to Graveyard and make sure that that bow or nocturne really is your path to Baronade.
I mean, if there's a boomerang in Sunsong Grave, you can at your leisure. You have a warp right next door, so you can probably just check that once you're done with Shadow Temple. Which at this point, nothing's stopping you. Which I think is going to be Devin's next play. If he can avoid Lakeside Lab Dive, yes, is indeed still the prescription. If he can avoid GTG for the moment and focus on Shadow Temple, he might still nominally be a million ahead once he's done there.
Yeah, especially with how long Shadow is, having that up over your opponent is actually great.
Yeah, but it does look like Ceddy is also looking towards getting some more skulls done, so we'll probably not be far behind Devin in that regard. And the canonical final skull at the top of Impa's house here. And that is it. Devin is done collecting skulls.
Hooray! We did it!
Whoop whoop! So I think if you're Devin, you just do Shadow at this point. Rush Donjon because you got Donjon to do.
I agree, and then you can worry about GTG.
Yeah, also gives you thinking time. So how long until Devin finds second magic? It'll be on Bongo.
I bet it's gonna be on the manager. But it is going to be in Shadow. I think we are going to find out that 30 magic was hard required.
Oh, for sure.
Another thing is that with this routing and with getting that magic before going to GTG, DareDevin is going to be able to check Wasteland, which is another funny place that second magic could be.
Sure. Once we find a scale or irons, we will be able to beat Spirit Temple as well. And that leaves finding a boomerang to complete this entire seed.
Yeah, and I will say with it being, like, if we do not find Boomerang here in Shadow, and assuming there's nothing on Sun's Grave, that leaves Bow for our path to Baronade. Now, something I considered is that it could just be in Forest Temple. Okay, there we go.
Oh, strength 3. Okay, cool.
Cool, awesome. But Boomerang could be in Forest Temple, or that bow could be to complete Forest Temple, so that we can just go do all dungeons for storms.
I don't think so. There are 2 other bows to be had somewhere. It's just likely.
True. I think Boomerang is just going to be Satan and Sun's grave. That is my suspicion today. Which means this actually could be... Do you think this puts
Don't say
DareDevin
it.
ahead?
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say, do you think this puts DareDevin ahead, assuming he does go GTG after this, gets that second strength, gets that mirror shield, is able to go out, and then basically clear Spirit?
And also clear out all of GTG, unlike Ceddy, who will have to walk back in there. So this might actually be really helpful routing for him in the end. Choices.
There is the possibility, though, that DareDevin doesn't clear out GTG with getting both a strength and a mirror shield. Might assume that there's not going to be anything in there for him.
But yeah, bottles. Bottles are a thing as well, as chat reminds us. DareDevin also getting some hugs here.
Oh god, right. We need a bottle for a fish. God, I keep forgetting that.
There are 4 bottles in this game. One is bound to show up. Right?
What if it's a bottle in Sun's grave?
Also fine. Then you just go Ice Cavern. Or go Jabu.
So funny.
Oh no.
Nope, we know
Well,
Boomerang Chest is dead.
That's true. But yeah, you go Ice Cavern in that case. Not for Saria. Well, maybe for Saria's, but mostly just for 3 quick checks.
If it was for Saria's, that would be to get into Forest. I would like us to dodge Forest.
to do Skull Kid or the Runia for more shenanigans.
Yep.
Ice without a bottle is a thing, but I said if you find a bottle, Monchi, in so for example, Sunsong Grave. And DareDevin is having a completely normal Shadow Temple, fighting the giant spiders.
I hate it whenever spiders invade my temple.
Dude, there are some fan animations of kind of photorealistic, or as realistic as you can think with a fantasy being, Skulltulas, and those are horrifying.
God, I hate that. As an arachnophobe, that is my nightmare.
Yeah, can we just not?
Ooh, okay. Actually, Dastar just said something interesting, and I'm gonna speak this into existence. I'm gonna drop a curse here and say Rang in OG Sea Fairy, which is actually possible if we needed that Nocturne to get that 3rd strength. Content.
Nocturne to get a 3rd strength.
Yes, we do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. But you also need a skull or iron boots to show up somewhere.
Yeah. But it could happen.
Sure it could, but again, Occam's razor says it likely won't. I know I'm a spoiled sport, but Ceddy is looking at 3 quick skulls in Forest Temple, which will put him at quite enough to also get his magic and head into Shadow Temple. Yeah, in theory, we're a bottle and a boomerang from Go mode.
And
Could be right in this chest. Is this a bottle?
It is.
Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Boomerang. Boomerang for Go mode.
Wait. Wait.
Oh, also Biggie. No way. No way. All right,
Okay. Nocturne to get a bottle could still be a path.
cool. It could.
It would be dumb, but it could be
Very.
a thing. Especially if other bottles are, for instance, locked in Ice Cavern.
Yep. Or Boomerang in Ice Cavern is also possible, but yeah, Nocturne locking all bottles would be a hilarious way to fulfill that Graveyard to Bongo path. Sorry, Graveyard to Baronade path.
Oh, let this be a bottle. Let this be another bottle.
You know, the randomizer does need to play jokes at some point, so we'll see which storyline the randomizer has prepared for us today. It could also just be the Boomerang, and we have done here, basically, so... I mean, Devin doesn't know that, but we do. Yeah, okay,
Like that. Okay,
we're
fine.
done here. Peace! Alright, so this will most likely, kind of postpone Devin's visit to GTG further because he has another dungeon to do. And he will hope, obviously, to find another strength, at least, on the way. But...
And now we know everything that our runners need to do to finish this seed. We're in no mode at an hour and a half.
Yep, Chad is in no mode, and Devin is potentially...
Almost.
No, Ceddy is probably going to be the first one in actual go mode.
Yeah. Because Ceddy... Oh god, yeah, Ceddy is gonna get everything he needs to finish his dungeons here in Shadow. Oh no. DareDevin's on a timer.
Yep, so ain't a jet until someone's in go mode. Ceddy is about to be. This is a jet.
Yeah, okay, Wow, I never thought I'd hear the day that Tobias called something a jet.
Well, when the occasion calls for it.
Yeah, our runners wanted nice, quick seed, and they got a nice, quick seed. So at this point, it's gonna come down to what calls DareDevin makes after getting out of Shadow and his execution. But honestly, I think Ceddy's got quite the advantage with the knowledge he's gonna have.
Yeah, it really does depend, though, on where DareDevin heads next. So he will probably do Jabu next, just because it is the obvious next choice. Do your progression dungeon and hope you find useful stuff along the way. Then you do your path location, which is GTG. At which point you are in go mode.
Well, but the problem is that I think that means
it would
be
another H change for Devin. The alternative, obviously, is Devin decides to do his known path location to Twin Roa first, gets a strength and a mirror shield, is then in go mode as well, and then basically just does Spirit Temple, hopes that he doesn't even need Requiem, but which he will have at that point. Yeah.
I think, though, that the bigger issue for DareDevin with all of that, because I think all of that is true. I think DareDevin's going to go one of those ways, but DareDevin's not going to look at more Hyrule Field checks at this point. DareDevin's going to miss those lights.
Yeah, but he's going to get that hinted from Ganondorf.
But I think that'll give Ceddy time to catch up.
Yeah, indeed. That is definitely... I mean, this is going to be close, whichever way this swings. So... It's exciting for sure. We will have a clearer picture of where this goes once DareDevin does his next move after finishing off Bongo. He goes to GTG, then we have a pretty clear understanding of where they are time-wise. Once he starts Jabu, he goes to Jabu first. Well, it's going to be a bit more murky.
Yeah, Chad, I would love if you all could help me time from the time DareDevin leaves Shadow to the time Ceddy leaves Shadow, because I want to see how far ahead time-wise DareDevin is on that front.
Yeah. Devin is also just losing 2 minutes straight up here by full clearing Shadow Temple because he doesn't know about light arrows. So this is going to cost him a bit of time that Seti is just going to gain because he knows he'll be in go mode in about another, or he'll know he's in go mode for in about another 5 minutes, at which point he can completely disregard the back of Shadow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so chat, if you just got here, basically, DareDevin doesn't know where the other strengths are, doesn't know where lights are, suspects that Mirror Shield is probably that GTG to Twin Rova path, so Seti has way more information, and once Seti gets Boomerang, is going to be able to just pick up keys and leave Shadow and just start clearing. So that is why Seti has a bit of an advantage here.
Alright, time to fight the drummer for DareDevin. And we'll see where he goes next. He can save an H-change by going GGG first, and I would assume the strength in hand, and knowing that there is a path item for Twin Rova and GG, that is an appealing choice. Or an appealing bet, at least. It would be the right choice for him, we know, but we'll see if that's what he goes for.
Oh,
nice
wow.
Bongo fight here, just shooting Bongo complete, but it's completely invisible. The only one I've seen that do quicker was, I think, Mr. Mario, who basically just put on a clinic on how to fight Bongo with for as little time as possible.
Yeah, even with a 2-cycle, that was wild.
Oh, there's your emotional support fish. And Devin's picking it up for the memes.
Well,
Doesn't even need to pick up a fish here. It's actually a time save.
Yeah, so it saves you like what, 5 seconds, 10 seconds?
It's technically an emotional support fish. You could just use the other bottle to grab it. But it is basically a go mode fish. And Devin is indeed warping to Temple of Time, so likely to go child first, does his progression dungeon first. Totally valid choice from his point of view. We know it'll cost him a bit of time because he will need to do another H change. Or he might just go for Requiem. Nah, he's in Temple of Time. He's Alright, so Devin has Requiem. He also has Minuet at this point. Tracker.
Additionally, chat is being awesome. DareDevin left Shadow at about 134.30-ish. So let's see whenever Ceddy leaves and how much of a difference there really is. Oh no. Oh, I didn't think about this. So because DareDevin just got Requiem, DareDevin wants to see if he's child locked out of spirit, which makes sense. I get it. He has technically 3 items and only one of them's hinted right now that he's looking for. But this doesn't feel great from chat and restream side when we know where everything is.
I mean, this is go mode for Ceddy. That chest right there.
Yes. One thing that is nice, though, is that with having that Requiem, that's going to provide a quicker way for DareDevin to get into GTG. Does increase the likelihood to, basically for sure, DareDevin's not going to go through field and is not going to get those lights first pass through.
And that is go mode for Ceddy. So yeah, very likely for DareDevin to just be not get those light arrows until he gets the high roll field hint. At which point he will need to basically full clear field because he will clear it north to south. Yeah, Ceddy has plenty of time to get back in this, or rather to rush the rest of this game, the rest of the 2.5 medallion dungeons he still needs to complete with in go mode. So is there going to be? It's a small key on child's side. This could be significant.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously this.
Do you think that Ceddy also does the child side check whenever Ceddy goes child to do Jabu, or do you think Ceddy might skip it and risk that he doesn't need it?
I don't think he does. I think he might actually go do Requiem first. Rather, go get Requiem and check adult side spirit first, though. Or rather, he will definitely try adult side spirit first. See if he can just complete the dungeon that way. Before he goes child for specifically this reason, because then he will know if he needs a key or a boss key from child side.
And yeah, that routing makes a lot of sense for Ceddy.
Another key in child climb. That's not two. Yeah, but this is Ceddy saving time because he is in go mode at this point. Devin will need to clear out a lot more of the dungeons he has left just because he doesn't know where his light arrows are. Whereas Ceddy, as soon as he has 3 keys and a boss key in Spirit Temple, he will be able to just go straight to Twin Rova. For Jabu, he can skip 2 rooms, the bubbles and the one tentacle room and the Shabam room, and yeah, as well as Boomerang Chest as well.
Yeah, and DareDevin's not going to miss those by virtue of not having those lights, because he doesn't have Furore, doesn't want to have to come back to Jabu, and doesn't want to have to H change again.
Nothing could be in Forest Purple Bomber. We're in go mode. Oh, Longshot or Iron Boots in Ganon's Castle or Forest. Yeah, okay, that could very well be the case, but this is nothing relevant. That's true. And Devin is done being a child in Spirit Temple, is warping to Lake Hylia. Interesting. Oh, for easy domain access. Makes sense. Time to feed a fish.
Feed the fish. Feed the fish. Yeah, so at this point it's just seeing, can DareDevin outrun Ceddy to the checks that DareDevin needs to go to. Ceddy...
I think Ceddy has the time. I think it's Ceddy's race to lose here.
Yeah. I'm just confused about why Ceddy saved.
Hold on.
Is Ceddy short a key?
I'm confused. No, he has a key. Is he not sure he has the boss key? He could see that in his pause menu.
He missed... Chat thinks he might have missed the boss key on the invisible chest.
Oh god. That's some time loss.
Ooh, that
Did I just say this is Ceddy's race to lose? This is how you do that.
Yep. Okay.
Like this is, and I'm not trying to sound like a smartass here, but this is exactly the kind of kind of time loss that still will keep Devin in this race.
Yep, and and getting hit with that's a little bit of SETI knowing that was a bit of a misplay, and knows that with where those items are, this is kind of a jetty seed. SETI's getting a little nervous. So
Oh yeah, for sure. He is very nervous at this point.
I still think SETI has a significant time or at least knowledge advantage over DareDevin at this point. But we'll see what the time difference is whenever SETI eventually leaves. At this point, though, it's going to be close to a full 15 minutes because essentially SETI has to run through all of Shadow again.
Oh yeah, he obviously didn't push the block because he thought he had that boss key.
Yes.
Dang it.
This is going to be 15, maybe even 16 or 17 minutes, especially if SETI keeps missing some of these invisible platforms.
I mean, no, it's not gonna be that long because he can basically turn right immediately after getting that invisible chest item. But
ooh, fair. But we are rapidly approaching 10 minutes of difference between DareDevin finishing and essentially when SETI gets this boss.
Oh no, he's turning the wrong way. And now he's tilted.
Yep, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, this is Shadow Temple sucks. Shadow Temple is hard. Having to go through Shadow Temple a second time because of missing a chest is not a good feeling. So I do not blame SETI for being tilted right now.
And there's another. It might be all bottles Nocturne locked. Hold on.
Yeah.
Every bottle except except Rudo's letter has shown up.
Yep. This is.
Oh, SETI, please! You got this! Come on! Deep breath. Don't worry about it. You got this. Reset. And, okay, that's another bow. In Jabu. These are all checks that SETI won't need to do.
Yeah, so again, DareDevin's losing some time that SETI's gonna make up. Basically, the time that SETI has whenever he leaves Shadow is gonna be tighter than the actual numbers show.
Oh dear. I think... So here's the problem. I think SETI is still has still turned the wrong way. Oh no, invisible chest at the boss key, right? Okay.
Yes.
So that's going to be right ahead. I thought invisible chest in the spinning blades room, but this is clearly not the case.
Allison, Devin does have the GTG path. The real question is, the real advantage that SETI has is having the light arrows whenever he goes into Ganon's, which being in go mode now is going to give him some better routing choices. He's not going to be like, he's not going to be full clearing Spirit or Jabu looking for those lights, which DareDevin is.
But also, SETI is at 1 1/4 hard. One mistake against Bongo, and he's getting sent all the way back to the entrance.
Yeah, I hope... Is SETI able to pick up the fairy here?
Yeah, he has a bottle.
Oh, I have no idea what happened to the picks. For some reason, they are not pinned, so we are going to repin that. There you go.
All right. Devin, in his mind, still needs a strength and a mirror shield. We know both of these are hidden in GTG. GTG is very path to Twin Rova for him. And yeah, the GT's G strength is before mirror, and GTG is also your check densest location when you're done with Jabu. So there is no way you bail early there.
Yeah, Daredevin might not get the silver rupee room, but might clear it out just for the sake of leaping only one check in GTG versus 5. So I really think a lot of this is going to come down to how thorough Daredevin is with his final dungeons. If he decides to just speed through them and get the hint, then I think Daredevin is going to take this. If he does slow down, it's going to be tighter.
We'll see what the seed brings, honestly. This is at this point too close to call still for me.
Yeah, I agree. Oh. Did Ceddy pick up a fairy?
Jesus, he's at a quarter heart. Oh my goodness.
Because I'm not sure if
he did not. No, he did not.
There we go. Oh god.
Doesn't matter though. Woof.
Oh god, that was stressful.
Indeed.
Yeah, so Chad, if you can give me the times, but it's looking like they're about 15 minutes apart.
Yeah, so that's a lot of time for Sadie to catch up at this point. But he will... Oh, there's a long shot. Lol. Devin just picking that up just in case, you know. Just in case the seed really decides to screw him over.
And Ceddy not even bothering to pick up the emotional support fish. Ceddy knows that he's got to go, go, go. And honestly, I think a good call.
I don't know. It would have saved him a few seconds over having to pick up a fish at this point, but you know.
Yeah, but it also would have been a few
seconds
there to pick up the fish. Oh, Daredevin never did one Cucco, and is like, well, while I'm here.
Well, while we're here, let's have a look-see, and it's a vanilla heart piece.
Daredevin has no idea where lights are.
No.
Or a second strength. So this is what we were saying about how, like, Ceddy is behind quite a bit on time. But Daredevin's going to be doing checks he doesn't need to do. And he doesn't know he doesn't need to do them because he doesn't know what Ceddy knows. Ceddy's going to be able to make up time just flat out right now.
So yeah, as I said, Ceddy is now checking if he can just straight up go mode Spirit Temple. First check wasn't the answer. We know from Devin's side that there was one key child side, so it could very well be. But that will not be a big time loss for Ceddy in this case. And it is a key on adult side, so
Okay,
he might
good.
just be able to go mode this.
Wasteland Furore Wind would be the rescue Daredevin needs to basically secure the time lead that he has. Because otherwise he's going to have to climb against Castle, get the hint, go back down and out to field, and then come back up. Like you said, Tobias, this is tight.
Yeah, Ceddy having to retrace some of his steps in Shadow Temple really cost him quite a bit of time here, and a much more comfortable lead. I still think he is ahead just by being in go mode, though. We'll see. I'm getting a bit nervous.
Yeah, I'm... again, this to remind everyone, this is game 1. So our runners are going to have at least one more game that they are going to play.
Yeah, so nobody's going home after this game. So there's a second key for Ceddy. The third is in Child Climb. All he needs is a boss key. And we know it's not adult. It's not locked away from adult at this point. Ceddy not even bothering to check Child Climb. We'll see if he gets rewarded for that. There are two keys Child side. There might be another key on the hand on Child side, which Ceddy wouldn't be able to get. And Wasteland was nothing, it seemed.
I really hope Ceddy is careful with that Furore's Wind as he gets higher in Spirit Temple and unequips that before the mirror room.
Yeah, don't softlock your console, kids. And that's not it. 2 more checks, invisible staircase. One of them is going to probably be the boss key, because I think someone peeked right side hand, and I don't think it was a big chest.
Hold on. Newsflash from chat. Apparently that crash was fixed.
Oh, it's fixed. Cool.
Sweet.
No, Furore's Wind. I mean, we talked about Din's, but never mind. Never you mind. But cool. I didn't know that was fixed.
I didn't either.
If so, I can only assume that was Kirok's doing.
I have nightmares of the seed that I commentated with that crash, so you know what? Awesome. I'd love to hear it. Oh, I meant to say Din's. I think I was trying to say Din's Fire, and then I said Furore's.
Ceddy just opening it for the fans. There is another Deku seed back for us. Yay!
All right.
I think this has to be the boss key at this point. And Ceddy is gambling on that too. Also, isn't really problematic to gamble on that at this point, because after all, oh dear,
that was a dodge.
Indeed. So that was so this has to be the boss key, unless it's in Sunblock Room. So we'll see. And that is boss key in the vanilla key. So we're good. This is all the keys that Ceddy needs. And Devin is about to have his second strength, and thus his go mode, right? I think he just picked up the mirror?
I'm not sure he has picked up the mirror yet. I didn't see him pick up the mirror.
Oh, right, it's in the next chest over. It's hammerlocked. Devin taking a good look at the maze, seeing that it is barren, and off we go to get that mirror shield. Devin doesn't know we do.
And I'm gonna be interested to see, does Devin stick around to check the strength 2 locked room just in case life are there?
Probably. Again, density makes this a good play. From his point of view, we'll see. Does he bail?
Yeah.
He bails. All right.
Yeah, he's gonna play for the hint.
Just he is playing for the hint, which is not a bad call. So it's going to be go mode, Spirit Temple. Oh, Devin.
Oh no.
At least checking the one more chest in this room. We'll see if that's all he does. No good choices from his point of view here. He needs to play for the hint, or he needs to commit to clearing out GG. If he does, I think he loses. No, he's playing Requiem. He's playing for the hint. So it's going to be go mode Spirit Temple versus go mode Jabu here. Plus 2 H changes. I think this has swung back around.
Yeah, and Daredevin's going to have keys walking into Spirit.
Yeah, so he can't skip the adult side checks here though, because those might be his boss key. So he will need to at least take a look. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Go mode Jabu plus 2 H changes versus go mode Spirit Temple plus getting the light arrows. And he's going to basically full clear Hyrule Field in the process, because he's going to clear it north to south. That's what I said before. So who? I can't math it out right now, but it still feels close.
Yeah. Ceddy just
And this is
started...
comfortably, by the way, this is comfortably sub 2 if you basically route this the way Ceddy did, minus the unfortunate mistakes in Shadow Temple, honestly. With a bit of more thoroughness from Devin in the beginning. Let me reverse that. Not comfortably sub 2, but close to 2.
Yeah, Devin was maybe a little too thorough and had some interesting choices for his skull routing, which gave Ceddy a lead in the mid-game. But definitely some of Devin's execution has made up for it.
Yep. All right. So Devin is going to have another small key straight away here. Will have all the keys he needs, and if he chooses to gamble a little bit and go to the vanilla boss key chest first, he's going to save a bit of time. Happy 2 hours. This is a good time to shout out everyone who's making this restream possible once more before we head into the final phase of this game. Thank you to our runners, Devin and Ceddy, for putting on a heck of a show for us. Thank you to our trackers, Skygoro and Miss Dagger, for keeping us informed about what is going on in the seat. And thank you to Sadie for restreaming and joining me in the commentary booth.
Yes, and thank you for being here in the commentary booth with me today, Tobias. I always enjoy commentating with you.
Same here.
All right. Time to Jabu from Ceddy.
All right. Devin is choosing not to turn right straight away, is going to check the mirror lock check here and the invisible staircase chests. This makes sense, honestly.
So, question: how fast is Jabu when you go mode it?
About 8 minutes-ish.
Okay. Slow as balls. Thanks, Allison.
Yeah, you can skip all of 2 rooms over non-go mode Jabu, so... And thank you to Eligatua for 22 months of subscription, by the way. If you feel like this channel has earned your subscription, I do think that button actually works. And yeah, 8 minutes seems about right, so... I sound different the last 30 minutes. No, I didn't really.
You sound pretty much the same. You maybe sounded a tiny bit quieter, but it's always hard to tell with my ears. Chat, can you still hear Tobias?
Well, at the moment, he's not saying anything.
Excellent. Thank you, baseball. I just wanted to see if I had to let go of my cats and adjust the mics.
Alright, Vanilla Boss Key incoming for DareDevin. Meanwhile, Ceddy is walking into Jabu proper.
Oof. Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see what their final times are and who pulls out in the lead on this one. DareDevin is rapidly approaching the end of Spirits, but Ceddy just started on Jabu.
Alright, that is the final room of Spirit Temple done for DareDevin, or just about. Once this mirror is spun a final time.
Yeah, Purple Bomber, I'm inclined to agree with that. This is going to be interesting at the end to see what the times are and who takes the win, because this unfortunately could come down to that Shadow Temple execution.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
Which hurts, which definitely hurts.
Either way, Devin is through to Twin Rover.
Alright, let's see how nice Troll Rove is today for DareDevin.
Yeah. So I think at this point the community has pretty much figured out the Twin Rover fight mechanics, so I don't think they are that trolly anymore. What with us knowing that they have to fly over one of the pedestals to the side of the arena to basically charge up their attack, and that you can stun them in place by hookshotting them. The charging mechanic specifically was discovered only in the last few years, and has made the fights a lot more predictable. Ooh, this is gonna be close. But should work. Yep. Hits her a third time. And that's hit number 4. That should be it.
That was good.
There's Koume and Kotake's double dynamite attack. And as this is the German facing off against the German, this is probably going to be an appropriate moment to remind y'all that the official German name for this phase of the Twin Rover fight, for this variant of the Twin Rover enemy, is Sexy Thermal Hexy. Don't even at me. This is actually the name.
We love sexy
I
grandma.
am not fucking with you, Alisoon.
I think it is the right amount of sexy. Miss Dagger.
Meanwhile, the fact that the German name for Ocarina of Time is Das Flutentuten is in fact an urban legend, but you know, still funny.
I love how many people are the 1 in 10,000 today who got to find that out about Twin Rova's German name. So congratulations, everyone.
And especially one of our trackers, Sky Goro, who got to learn that I am in fact not lying in the commentary booth. This is DareDevin.
Lies?
You think people would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies? Anyway, this is DareDevin done with Twin Rover, heading up for Ganondorf here. Meanwhile, Ceddy is just about done with Jabu. One more Baronate fight to go. And Devin will need to get the light arrows here. This is going to be hella close. But I think Ceddy still has this.
We will see, I guess. Ceddy's gonna be, what, 2 minutes behind DareDevin getting into the castle?
Yeah, but Devin will get the hint, will have to ride out to Hyrule Field, and basically check it top to bottom. This is what I said, like, Hyrule Field is... Devin will need to basically check the entire location, and will find the light arrows at the last possible check for him. Meanwhile, Ceddy is just going to walk into Ganon's castle and start kicking his shit in?
Yeah.
Basically.
Wow, that is honestly incredible with the difficulty Ceddy had in Shadow, and again, shows how awesome Ceddy's routing was this seed.
Yes. Alright, that is all 6 medallions for Ceddy. Here we go. Interesting choice. Yeah, he did Boulder and Remote Grotto. Devin did.
True.
Oh, that's true. So he's warping to Lake Hylia straight away. Oh boy. This is getting even closer now. Problem is Devin does not have... Yeah, Ceddy's got it because Devin doesn't have Ferora's Wind, neither does Ceddy, but Devin will need to warp back to Temple of Time. Will then have to walk back into the castle, while Ceddy only needs to fight his way up the tower once. By the way, I did say I'm going to laugh at Devin if he dies to Salt and Pepper here, because he didn't pick up double defense.
He didn't die?
He did not die, but you know. Alright. DareDevin getting the light arrow hints, light arrows hint just as Sadie walks in the door. Hyrule Field is the answer, Devin. And safe resets straight away.
And here we go. Ceddy is entering Ganon's castle as DareDevin is leaving it.
Yep, plays Serenade straight away. This is honestly one falling off of Ganondorf's platform away from being dead even.
Oh man, don't say that. We're not going to talk about worse. I have learned my lesson about jinxing the runners with terrible things, and oh boy, this is close. This is so close. I'm trying to do
Getting
better.
called out. Getting called out by fellow restreamer and organizer Dastar in chat saying, "No, you haven't, Sadie." And Sadie's playing it safe here. Is as if he knew. Is approaching Salt and Pepper carefully here. Is not immediately attacking both of them, and that is the Iron Knuckles down here. Sadie on the final climb to Ganondorf, while DareDevin needs to climb back up the entire damn tower.
Oh, jeez.
It's going to be close, but Sadie has this barring disaster.
Also, to clarify, Dastar, I wish terrible things on our runners that are funny. Falling during the Ganondorf fight or dying during the Ganondorf fight is not funny. So, alright, Ceddy, let's do this. You have fought for this. Come on.
And the mirror image of just before, Sadie just reached Ganondorf as DareDevin walks back in the door.
I will say, Devin has had better, and I'd even say like significantly better boss fights this game. So I'm going to be interested to see how this Ganon fight does, because execution could make the difference here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope.
Yep, one more cycle.
No!
I'm just gonna sew my own damn mouth shut.
No! Okay, I get it, but Jesus.
He did need arrows. He was literally out, but still. Couldn't have hit him there if he wanted to. But this makes this so much closer.
I hope you all enjoyed my panic screamed. God, no, no, no.
Come on!
I mean, this is really good. This is, but
I mean, stream value, but jeez. And that's Ganondorf down for Ceddy, whereas DareDevin is just about to start the fight. This is way too close for comfort. 2:15:45 done with, whiteout for Ceddy. Let's see when DareDevin is done here. Could be really quick.
And I think it will. I mean, DareDevin, I think, can get the 1 cycle.
Definitely has the chops for it, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got the good rhythm. 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10. That should.
No!
Oh no! All right, 1 cycle denied. All right, 2 cycle it is, even for Devin. A about a minute behind. Again, Ceddy has this barring disaster.
I stopped
But
breathing
this
for
has
a
gotten
second.
way
Oh
too
my
close.
gosh.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Ceddy picking up the Master Sword.
That is phase 2 for Ceddy, whereas Devin just about to start phase 1. Devin is 1 minute behind. We'll see how it ends up looking on the final times. But this is Ganon almost beat for Ceddy. All that's left is to get the final hit in. So this is Ceddy's. Ceddy takes the first race. Get your GGs in chat for both the runners, honestly, because my goodness, what a race. It went this way and that way and this way again, and damn, this was close.
That was ridiculously
Incredible.
hard fought. Oh my gosh.
Alright, let's see. This is obviously very close. We'll see.
This
All
gonna
right.
be like a minute, maybe even 50 seconds difference.
It was basically a minute. All right, Ceddy said, let's do this. So I'm dragging him in here. Welcome in, Ceddy, and GG's. As soon as you unmute, obviously.
Hello.
Hi and GG's. What a race.
Oh.
And that is Devin done as well.
Oh. It was still so close.
Yeah, very.
That was about
Yeah.
a minute difference.
Kinda trolled in Shadow.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of obvious that you got tilted there because that was ridiculous. Other than that, man, that was really good routing. The decision to head to GTG early really helped you here, knowing that you were in go mode much earlier than Devin.
Yeah, I kinda thought that we had to get Gold Scale or Ironwoods, but yeah, Strength 2 in Shadow. And then there was the Boomerang.
Alright, and sorry. And there's DareDevin as well, GG's.
GG's. That was...
Yeah.
I'm mad.
That was hard fought for both of you. We in the restreamer booth were stressed out the entire time.
Yeah, so so quick summary, Ceddy got hard trolled by Shadow Temple. I think,
Okay.
how many times did you drop down there in the big room? It was
I
like 5
think
times.
4 or 5 times, yes.
Meanwhile, you, Devin,
I messed up Baronade. Big time.
yeah, got trolled by the fish and also by the light arrow location.
Yeah, because Seti had a cleared out field and actually, after doing Shadow, was in go mode. So that was incredible routing on your part, Seti.
Because they did GTG first.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes sense. I was rushing the skull so hard there was no point in doing that. It's just like this kind of the seed told me to do it, so I did it. And then my time of day routing didn't work out, which actually led me to pick up the hook shot, which was like, dude, I'm behind, I have to go. That's why I left without clearing the rest of Hyrule Field.
Yeah, I actually had wanted to ask what made you choose to chase after the skulls over going to a path location? I mean, obviously, you didn't have the hook shot at that point, couldn't know that you would find it on the way.
Yeah,
And did that factor into the call to
yeah,
not go to GTG first?
yeah. I was thinking like I was thinking about the hook shot, but then like at the same time, the duality of my move was that I was I was dead on going to Shadow without hookshot with that with like with the 30 skulls. But there wasn't another magic, right?
No, we never found the other magic.
Yeah, but like you can collect skulls so much more efficiently if you just get your hookshot early on. And I was just like that was where I lost. Like I should have not lost by 2 minutes, by 1 minute. I should have lost by like 10 at least.
And similarly, Seti, when did you make the call that skull collecting was going to be important? Because as mentioned, you went out to GTG early, and that worked out for your routing very, very well.
Yeah, I think the moment I checked Tactile Grotto, there was a strength in there. And then I thought, okay, maybe isn't heavy blocks in GTG, and I can do hookless GTG. So I pushed the rest of Hyrule Field and then GTG. And I could have picked 5 skulls, I think.
You didn't have Iron Boots or Gold Scale, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we also never found those. Well, I have just one more question for both of you because I know that the German restream is waiting for you. But you picked very, very nice settings for this, and Daredevin, you even commented that it's been a while since you've had settings this nice. Some of the seeds this tournament have been pretty brutal. Do you think that you're going to walk into round 2 with a similar mentality, or do you think you're going to switch it up a little bit?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I will keep picking open Deku and one chicken.
Oh boy.
I
Okay.
did it the whole tournament, so yeah,
I'm
I see it through.
Like I'm just gonna do what I feel in the moment. It's not that I'm like gonna that there's a point in like counter picking, like trying to pick a setting that you're not comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanna play the game. That's all I want.
Well, you all have certainly showed us an incredible first semifinals game. Tobias, if you have any questions, otherwise, I think we're good to send them over to the German restream.
I think we should. I think thank you both for joining us for a quick interview, and thank you for putting on a heck of a show today. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of the semifinal plays out. As is tradition here, I'm always going to root for more Zooter. So good luck, Devin.
Thank you. No, I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
good luck both of you in the next semifinal match, and looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
And also thank you for commentating.
Oh yeah,
Our
thanks for
pleasure.
everything.
All right, you will go ahead and head on over to OoT's Discord for the interview with the German restream. And we're closing this one out. Thank you all for watching, obviously. Thank you to our runners, Devin and Ceddy. Thank you to our trackers, Miss Dagger and Skygoro. And thank you to Sadie for joining me in the commentary booth, as well as for restreaming. Sorry, I got distracted by a message on the side here. No, I absolutely did not forget your name.